Hey there guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Meteorfall Krumit Tale, which is such a strange title, and it's a strange looking game as well. So look, to give you an idea, if you're new to these videos, we sort of do it in three little segments. It's only probably going to be about 10 minutes, so I try not to go too long. Have a quick overview where I'll break down what this game is, what it's about. You know, maybe you've never heard of it, or maybe you're curious and you want to know a little bit more. I'll give you my impressions, which is me playing it, you know, for a couple of hours to get a feel, get the elevator pitch from the game. Get an idea if it's worth your time, if it's broken, if it's competent, that sort of thing. And then on the back of it, we tend to try and have a bit of an intelligent discussion around a topic that may have come up over the course of me playing this, and probably more specific to this or its position in the industry. No politics, no hate baiting, nothing like that, just some good old gamer chat. Anyway, so Krumit Tale, it's a roguelike deck builder, I suppose. It's very interesting. The roguelike market is just exploding these days, and I absolutely love it because I think it's a really good genre. It's great to see so much sort of, not bloat, but just, well, I guess we'll go with an explosion. There's a lot of interest. The developers seem keen to develop in that area, and obviously the market is lapping it up. Now, Krumit Tale. Essentially, you basically do runs through a dungeon, but it's all done in the perspective of this weird old dude holding like a briefcase full of tiles that drop down, and that has gameplay implications. But essentially, this is sort of standard fare for your, you know, slay the spire, climb the tower type roguelike. So you go through, you have these tiles drop down. It's like a shuffled deck of enemies for that particular biome, along with items that you've built into your deck. You earn money from killing dudes or throwing out tiles, and you use that money to buy weapon and armor tiles to bring back into your little deck, which is only like 4 cards, and then you use that to combat them. Again, it's standard fare. I don't mean anything by it. It's doing what it's supposed to do, right? All the moving parts are in place for what we expect from this genre. I will point out that the art style and general art direction, even like, say, the music, it's pretty understated, but it complements it quite well. But the art is absolutely a banger. And some of those animations will really make you giggle. The way your little barbarian dude screams and howls, and his mouth animations actually are fantastic. So it's actually got a lot of heart, and thematically it's really well put together. As far as what it's doing differently for the genre, it does have some items that play into the tile dynamic. Examples: there are enemies that, if they make it to the bottom tile, they'll damage your dude essentially outside of combat. So you're disincentivized from, say, killing tiles underneath them or buying out like a sword that they're on top of. So that's an interesting function. And there's also items and abilities that will do things like damage dudes in a line. And then you've got like damage over times. It acts as a essentially as a clock, as a timer as well. So you can put like a burning damage over time on the top square guy, and as he drops down squares over time, he will tick damage in each iteration of that. So it's doing something different. I haven't really seen it, to be honest, and it's doing it well. It's not earth-shattering. Again, I'm not being negative, but it is pretty, like, I know I keep using the term standard fare, but that's the best way to describe it. Now, that might not sound like praise, but it kind of is, I suppose. Yeah, I feel like I'm being negative, but I'm not. It's really good. It's really solid. It's got really good art. It's great. If you like this genre, it's easy to recommend. If you like the art, looking at it, I would say give it a go because it has a solid gameplay loop behind it. But this is something that opens up some interesting thoughts around this entire genre. Again, it's very popular at the moment. It's a pretty hot place to release your little game. And I think even more than ever, you really have to stand out from the opposition. So I think this is doing kind of the best that it could do in that space. So I say thumbs up to Slothworks, the guys that have done this, and I recommend it. I say check it out. So that's probably the sort of first half of the video. Let's go into discussion. Now, I think I have 2 points. We'll see. We'll see how long we last. I actually kind of want to gush over the art and the art style and the animation and just how polished that whole package is in this game. So much so that, as I said before, it's pretty standard. It's not broken, but it's not earth-shatteringly innovative either, right? So let's just say it's right in the middle of the major standard deviation, I suppose, of games in this space doing the right thing. And you would think that's a bare minimum, and beyond that, you want to, if you can help it, you want to break away from the crowd and stand out from the rest. The art style in this is kind of their moneymaker, right? That's the trick. So, granted, I play a lot of games all the time, and my cogs are ticking as well, because I'm obviously assessing these games as well. You know, there's something to be said for being aware that you're trying to sort of review, or at least formulate an opinion of a game as you play it, as opposed to just having good unadulterated fun, just thrown straight in there and going for it. So, I'm cognizant of the gameplay just kind of being left foot, right foot, just pretty standard stuff. But at the same time, I honestly think if you're someone that's not really reviewing games or sort of making a hobby/business out of formulating an opinion, you actually could probably really lose yourself in this and have a good bit of fun, and I attribute that purely to the art style. So I guess the point that I'm trying to come to, and the discussion there, is that, now this is a broad point, we're moving a little bit on from the game, but if you have a really, really solid cornerstone in the gameplay design that you're doing, and in this case, it's really cool art direction, then I think it can, just follow me, because I'm not using this language to be mean, I'm just using the words that I think are appropriate, but you could use that one really strong point to potentially cover for other aspects of your gameplay design. You see what I mean? Like, that sounds mean, but that's not what it is. This is a higher thought, right? So, you could have a really beautiful, gorgeous game, and I think that will sort of buy you points in the column of people overlooking other aspects of your game, which I think I'd be curious if in the sort of design and development meetings, if that's actually a known strategy, and that the people would do that. That they lean super hard into one thing and really make the focus that one particular component or aspect, and so then go, oh well, let's not worry about these other components as much because we have a laser focus. I suppose it's about being master of something as opposed to the jack of all trades. Anyway, I'm talking about the concept beyond this game, because I'm not saying this game has anything wrong with it. Far be it from that. It's very solid for what it's doing. But I would almost wonder if, I mean, it's not advice for game developers coming through that want to cut corners, but I almost wonder, maybe you guys would have examples of situations where this has happened. I wouldn't mind hearing it, but I wonder if a designer, maybe it's a small studio and they know their weaknesses. It's like, geez, we're terrible at a gameplay loop, or we're terrible at this component, sort of UI maybe. You know, I'm just sort of thinking this stuff on the cuff, or our story's going to be pretty shallow, or we're not even going to bother putting a lot of effort into it. Perhaps then they go, well, that's all right, we'll go really, really hard on this particular gameplay loop or this particular artistic direction, and we'll put all of our eggs in that basket, and if we pull that off, people will maybe just sort of forgive us for dropping the ball in different areas. I wonder if it's ever a cognizant sort of decision in the design process. Maybe it's just a byproduct, but it made me wonder. It made me want to sort of muse and wane and think about it, because, like I said, the art direction in this game is so striking. It's distractingly striking, you know? So I'm singing its praises. This is a great game, all right? It could have been an average game if it had no awesome art, right? But the fact that they've done so well in their art direction will give you a moment for pause and go, well, and think to yourself, wow, this looks so phenomenal. And then what is this actual game? You know, like it becomes a secondary thought of what you're even doing there and why you're playing it. And I'm not against that, you know. I think that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a bit of eye candy. Like, I am, you know, guilty as charged. I quite like playing all the Call of Duty campaigns because they're B-grade Fast and the Furious action crap. Like, generally speaking, I'm not trying to be mean to the Modern Warfare games, or COD in general, but none of them are going to win an Academy Award, or you know what I mean? They know what they are. They know that they're an action romp, but with super high production value graphically, and it's just this absolute orgasmic eye blast of things exploding and then known characters mocapped in and all this sort of stuff. But like at the end of the day, it's a story you're not going to remember for the most part, or with the exception of Black Ops 3. But there's a discussion for another day. It's one of the most underrated, fantastic stories ever. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, but I think maybe that's a more graspable sort of example or parallel in that there's nothing wrong with going hard on the eye candy and just enjoying that ride, just going along with it and going, man, this looks good, and I'm enjoying just playing something that looks good. Even if it's not necessarily super taxing gameplay-wise. Anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts. Feel free to let me know what you think. I love the engagement. It's the only reason I really do this. I mean, who else would put their opinion out there if they didn't actually want it challenged or want... Well, actually, hang on a sec. That's a lot of... The internet does exactly that. They get upset when people challenge their opinions. So I welcome it. Please, come on in and let me know what you think if you have a different thought. Highly recommend this game. It's very cool. I've had a lot of fun with it. So if you're in that sort of genre and you're looking for a new game somehow, because there's a bazillion of them to choose from, but if you still want something new to throw on the pile of shame, hey, I would say grab this game. Alright team, I'm going to leave it there and I will catch you guys on the next one.